In this video, we continue to learn how to turn AI-generated model into game ready. And this episode is about rigging and animation. It's gonna be easy and fun. Today we're gonna use Mixamo and AccuRIG from Realition. First part will be about Mixamo. If you're interested particularly in AccuRIG 2, you can navigate to this time code. Let's get started. So first of all, here is our model that we created. It might be any model that you have. It might be with texture or without. So first of all, let's make sure that there is no modification. I recommend to apply the modifier, so don't forget to go to modifier tab and apply. Make sure that in your scene only objects that you want to rig. So in my case, 2 objects like eyes and base body. Now we're gonna go file, export, OBJ. Here is one trick to make it easier to work with Mixamo is to set scale to 100, because Mixamo, when we will import it back, it will basically make the scale 100 times smaller. So to prevent that, we can just set the scale and export. Now we go to Mixamo, we go upload character. We're gonna select our character on OBJ. Let's wait a little bit, take a look on our character, make sure it's facing front, press next, and we're gonna basically drop the pins. It's very easy. You're gonna see the reference on the right side. Okay, let's do that. Okay, knees. All right. And the only thing, we need to select a different skeleton with 3 chain fingers, because our character has 3 fingers. So just make sure to check the settings. Okay, so now it will happen. Let's wait a little bit. And after a while, here we can see the preview animation. We can see it already looks not so bad, but I can spot some problems on the belly. Yeah, and we're gonna fix them soon. Okay, let's press continue. Here I was playing with the animation. Let's remove this animation by pressing cross. Now we're gonna press download. We can choose T-pose. So in pose, I selected original pose and FBX as a file format. That's fine. In Blender, let's hide our initial collection. Just like that, create new collection, call it like rig. Drag and drop the 3D model here. There will be a pop-up menu like this, and press import FBX. That's it. So now you can see there are no materials. That's totally fine because it is the same mesh with same UV. So we can go press on it. We can go to material tab and basically select our material that we created for our character that still is in this scene. That's it. I will do same for the eyes. That's super cool. The last part, let's press on the armature. You can press on the bone, go to this tab and press View Pro Display in front, so we can see the armature. That will make it easier for us to work with armature. Then we're gonna go to pose mode and try to play with bones. So you can press on the bones, you can press R on the keyboard and try rotating them. Yeah, alternatively, you can use controls on the left. So we can see some problems on the belly, on the arm, because we have non-uniform character. However, I see fingers are quite nice. They're pretty good. And the head is actually working well, because we have long neck. Amazing. It looks very good. I'm just pressing R and rotate the bones. Okay, so let's get it fixed. First, we're gonna go object mode. So first, we're gonna need to do following. We select the armature, then we hold shift and select the body. And then we can enter the weight paint mode. With Control Shift, you can click on any bone and it will select it and you will see the exact weights of this bone. It's very easy, and you can also still press R to always try the movement. So with this brush, we're gonna adjust weights. So first, you select the weight you will apply. 0 means the bone will not affect the geometry at all. 1 means it will affect it 100%. So I selected 0 and I will paint this area a little bit to make my shoulder do not affect belly that much, right? So I will just reduce the area. And when you did some painting, you can go to weights and press smooth just to make sure the weights are distributed smoother. And here we go. It is now way nicer. Okay, I will just adjust it a little bit here. And now when I move the arm, it doesn't affect the belly that much. Well, that's an amazing. And that was super easy. The same thing you can do for the opposite arm, but let's take a look on the belly right now. So when we press on the belly, we can see something like this. And I think artifacts are caused because the weights are distributed like very in sort of sharp way. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna wait and press smooth again for this belly bone. Then we go to the hip, we go to apply smooth again, and the other bones that are affecting belly. Okay, and it looks so much better right now. Look at this. Okay, looks good. Without exiting this mode, you can disable overlay to see how it looks textured like this. We can go back. All right, not bad. Reduce it a little bit on the bottom after smoothing. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's go back to object mode and let's go back to Mixamo. Here we're gonna go to a character tab and let's find a character similar to ours. So here I found a nice mousy character. I think it fits by the proportions, like the same short legs. All right. And we're gonna go to animation tab and let's find some dance animation. Twist dance, why not? Okay, so here it is. So here there are some settings per animation, and here specifically there's character arm space. I think we can add a little bit more just to make sure arms not going inside the belly. Yeah, a little bit like that because our character also has big belly. Then let's download the animation. Here is my setting that I use. I use FBX with skin, frame per second 30, keyframe reduction none. Okay, let's download this one. Now let's go back to Blender and let's drag and drop this animation right here. Just press import FBX. Now let's press / on the keyboard. That will basically isolate the model that we just imported. And here on the bottom, we need to go into dope shit menu. And here in the second menu, we'll not need to find action editor. And here you will gonna see the animation track with its name. So first we're gonna rename it to Twist Dance. All right, then we can actually delete the armature and the object because the animation track will be saved in file anyway. Guys, before we continue, I want to thank you for your support for this tutorials episode, and as usual, to let me know that you want this video, drop a comment, hit the like button, and I'm start working on the next episode about how to drop this AI model to a marketplace and start earning immediately. Now we're gonna press on the armature of our character, and here in the same menu in action editor we can select Twist Dance. All right, and you can see it's already there. For preview purpose we can always disable overlay, that's fine, and we can take a look on the animation. Yes, it works. Before we run the animation, let's go to a timeline tab, and here we can see that the end frame of the animation, you can see this black keys on the bottom. The end frame of our animation is 285, and let's set the end frame here as well to 225. Now it will be cycled on this frame. So when it's here, it will just start again. Okay, so let's take a look, and I see it still has some problem with belly and legs. So let's address them really quick. We go to object mode again. Let's enable overlay, select armature with shift, select the body, go to weight, paint mode again, and we will reduce how much legs are affecting the body. So basically I will select leg bone and reduce the area a little bit, apply smooth after I do some changes. Note that whenever you press smooth, there is a context menu here, and you can reduce iterations if you don't want it like to get extra hard. So I will set a 5. Okay, so it's not go too far, and I will do exactly the same for this leg. All right, now guys, if you don't know how to get acquainted with Blender, it's very easy. Check out my episode 1. I explained the very basics so that you need to know about Blender to feel comfortable inside it. The link will be in the corner. Okay, so we finished it, and let's take a look now. I disabled overlay, and now it looks, yeah, it looks way better. I mean, than it was before. Right. And in exactly the same way, I just dropped another animation here, and here's another dance I added here. It is shorter. Go to timeline. Let's take a look. It is, what's the end frame here? So the end frame here is 137. Let's press on 137, and then we can see that how it animation works cycling. And this is just amazing. Just look at this. And this looks very fun. And that's basically it. Let's take a look how you can do that with AccuRIG too. Now, compared to Mixamo, AccuRIG has an application. We're gonna need to download it. It has free 32 motions, but the catch here is that if you want more animation supported by this rig, you're gonna need to pay them. Although they are not that expensive, and there is much more that you can find on Mixamo. So we're gonna use this application. Now here, before start, like we need to export model, not OBJ, but FBX. So basically just make sure you have all the objects that you need in scene. You don't need to export it with the material. Export FBX and we are done. Okay, let's go to AccuRIG 2.0 and here is the starting window. We're gonna choose the file that we just exported. Let's import it. The first screen asking about the center line. In our case, we are all good. The center line exactly in the middle. If you're using like different character, non-symmetric, just press the center line accurate. All right. Then we go to the next step, rig the body. And here we need to basically also set the markers. It is extremely easy because whenever you will hover any point, you will see the tip on the right side and we can basically do what it asks. You can enable symmetry to speed up the process. All right. Our character is non-uniform, so we're gonna need to think about like where his shoulders are. But I think I'm doing really good. And so here I think it will be the hip will be lower than on the reference and the leg is connected somewhere here, I think. Okay, I think it will be fine. Let's put it somewhere here. Okay, knees. Don't forget to take a look at it from projection because our model is quite long. I think this hip should be somewhere here. And for the legs, I think basically it's good. Something like that. Now the second one is to rig hands, and here is better than in Mixamo. It's like separated step. We have 3 fingers. Let's evaluate them. All right. Okay, it's done. And now we taking a look on the arm. Okay, so the process is basically the same. We hover the point and it will actually suggest where this point should be. So this one should be lower than it is right now. Let's move it. So in my case, it actually messed up a little bit the fingers. So you can see this should be a big thumb. Okay, so we're gonna change place. So we're gonna drop all these pins here and this we will move to this finger. All right. Okay, something like that. Okay, so you can see that this pin is a bit special. There is this pointer and we need to position it the same way as a reference. So we're gonna move this pointer so it point up on the thumb, right? So something like this. I think it will do exactly how the reference asking. Something like that, yes. It is very important, otherwise it will think that your hand is rotated and we don't want it. Okay, so let's locate the dots correctly. Okay, and so far it looks good. And I will do exactly the same on this right hand and we'll press calibrate. After a bit, here we go. Now we can see and preview our character animate, and this looks awesome. So first of all, we can preview some poses and adjust the poses. So what I can see is that here in this pose, arms are going like a little bit inside. So I will try to adjust it by pressing the arm. I'll just add the pose offset because my character is a little bit special. His belly like is way bigger than the human character. So we're gonna just adjust it a little bit. In the similar way, we need to go through each pose and make sure that that pose looks natural. So this one, A pose looks good. This pose looks good as well now. So here I adjusted the pose and it looks way better. Now we can basically go and add motion. And here we go. So here is our idle animation, which is free. Here you can check a free animations. You can also check paid animations. I would say I used it quite a lot, bought many of animations because they're really good. But to export that, it's pretty simple. Press export as FBX. And here you can select where you export in. In our case, it's Blender. You can also export to Unreal Engine. In Blender, include character, motion, or both. So in my case, I can export like this one. To your rest settings is up to you. To export it with idle animation, you basically need to buy it for $0 and add to cart, and then you will be able to export it with free animation. Yes, you have to buy free animations as well, then they will be added to your account and you can export with them. However, you can export character only and it will export it with rig but just without the animation. So we export that as a starting point. Let's take a look on our guy here. We basically do the same process as in Mixamo. Create new collection, drop it here. Okay, let's create a poll folder rig and drag and drop the FBX model here. The only thing I spot is that the armature initial pose is a little bit weird, and I show you how to fix it. It's very easy. So to fix that, we're gonna press on armature. Let's put bones in the front. We go to the pose mode. We're gonna press A on the keyboard and press Alt plus R, and we'll basically reset it to rest pose, and that's fine. And that's basically it. To apply the animation, the process is exactly the same as for Mixamo. Just go download it, like without character. You can download motion only, drop it here as FBX, and apply the animation track to our character. I really hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment, and see you in the next episode.